Heyo, Greg Branos here for the Coach Speak Index. We are ripping a Ball Mania 6 team on Underdog today. And my guest is an analyst and writer for the Fantasy Footballers. So excited to have her on today. Julia Papworth, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So excited to draft with you today.
I'm very excited.
I can't wait. What has your experience been thus far with the Fantasy Footballers? Tell us. Let us in.
They're fantastic. I've been with them 4 or 5 years now, and writing for them, and now I'm doing content editing for them as well. So I get to go through all the stuff that our writers are doing and edit it up and stuff like that, which is great. Working with Kyle doing that. Get to contribute over there when I can. Lately, me and Matthew Batts have been writing something together, which is a lot of fun every week. And then I'm also writing for Football Guys too. So I gotta stay nice and busy. Yeah.
Two great groups there. Love them. Love the Fantasy Footballers. Love Joe Bryant and the people at Football Guys. We are in a 30-second draft, 30-second shot clock draft, waiting on just 3 people. And we will get that started. Who have you had to break the red pen out the most on?
God, who I don't like, who I'm trying to avoid. Is that a nice way of saying? Or the red pen? Oh, with editing. Oh no, I'm not. I would never say that. I would never say that. No, everyone's great. Like I love editing. I love it because you read stuff and you think of these perspectives that you would never think of on your own. And it's really cool. We have just such a talented group of people working for us that everything is fantastic. Literally, everything's great. And especially the guys who have this really analytical background. Like I'm not a coder. I'm not someone who does that sort of stuff. I'm less data driven. And then to read the pieces that those guys write is like a whole nother world. And it's so amazing to see when they are like discovering correlations and all this other stuff that like I kind of don't see easily, So that's really cool to see those guys.
Yeah, great to have, just many different perspectives that you consume, so you're not stuck in the echo chamber.
Yeah,
which can be dangerous because we all end up with the same exposures and same kind of builds and all that stuff.
And it's all valuable. It's like the analytics and the tape, and then I think people don't even give enough credit to that like 2% of gut instinct as well. For some reason, when you're like, I can't give you the words why I don't like this player, but they're there for some reason. Your spidey sense. We'll call it your spidey sense.
We have the first pick.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. I think that's pretty easy.
It's an easy one. It's James Conner, right?
Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I like the call back to the Cardinals fan. Yeah.
Let's get this draft thrown out. No, not going to do that. I assume Jamar Chase is your 101.
Yes. You assume correctly, sir.
Hell yeah. You know what assuming does? It lets you know how many chickens you're going to have before they hatch.
Exactly. Yeah, I think Joey B is going to have quite a year this year, and they don't really have much of a defense, so they're just going to throw that ball nonstop, and I love that. So
fling that thing in Julie, in both football and by the way, I guess we should give some people context for this. You also work in the hair department, correct? In Hollywood for quite a while now. In both football and in Hollywood, there are telltale signs where it's like, okay, this person is going to be a star. What characteristics or traits in an actor would you say are the most prominent predictors of stardom?
Jeez. Wow, that's quite a thing. It's funny because it's like sometimes you see people, and like I just said with like the spidey sense with players and stuff, and sometimes they really do have that like you can't put your finger on it quality about them that you're like, this guy is going to make it. I think there's an ability to read the room, an ability to take things from other people that is super important when you see someone who's starting, and you can see it with those actors who like really pay attention, and they're learning from people who have worked many years more than them, or they're watching somebody do something on the side, and you just see them being aware and taking it all in. And I think those are the people that end up working. I mean, what do you call a star, right? Like there's, in one hand, you think of like the big stars in movies and stuff. But nowadays it's like, if you want to have a career where you're working 20, 30 years, that's a win, I think, in Hollywood, especially with how the industry is changing. And man, is it changing. It is changing.
Yeah, it is. That what you said reminds me kind of how, coaches will talk often about how important a love for the game of football is, and people don't really pay attention to that, or like, oh, like, okay, sure, whatever. But then you look at cases like, an Anthony Richardson, where it seems like maybe he's not completely into the game of football, and maybe Kyler Murray falls into that category of, okay,
don't besmirch my Kyler, but I get you. Yeah,
quite matching up to the talent and the potential that he totally has. And for someone who, like, you can tell when an actor just like loves Hollywood, like they know the history of Hollywood. Like this craft is important to them. It's not just a paycheck this week and a paycheck on the next project next month. I think that really shines through in their work.
I think it's about loving like the journey and the work too, as well. And I think like I also coach CrossFit, and I've been CrossFitting for 12 years. And look, I'm okay at it. I'm not incredible at it. And there's been a lot of stuff in it that's been very difficult for me. And I think about how working at something to get better, you have to love doing it. Otherwise, there's no point, right? Like the success part is great, but like if you're not really invested in what you're doing, you're not getting any joy from it. So I think all the things I'm kind of into kind of have that sort of vibe. Let me see. Okay, let's see where we're at here.
We got a couple picks away. We got T. Higgins, Bucky Irving, Josh Jacobs. Actually, let's sort by ADP here. Bucky Irving, T. Higgins, Josh Jacobs, Trey McBride are at the top here. There's a teammate stack with T. Higgins. There's a week 17 correlation with Trey McBride.
You know what I want to do here, because especially being on the ends and knowing we're going to have a long wait until we come back. I'd love to take Trey McBride here and we've automatically got something set up if we want for that week 17. There's a couple other ways we can do that, and then we can not worry about tight end again until later. And there's a bunch of people later round values that I like tight end wise that we can sort of snag one or two of those guys coming back around later.
For sure. How about for the second pick here?
Oh yeah. Let's see. What do we have?
Got Josh Jacobs, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison, Chase Brown. So Chase Brown, another teammate stack. Marvin Harrison, a teammate stack.
I don't hate that Chase Brown, actually. I think Chase Brown is going to be quite successful.
Agreed.
He's like, and it's like one of those things where you're like, it's a boring name. It just sounds boring. Like everything about it, you're like, oh, whatever, Chase Brown. But then you're like, oh, he's actually going to have quite a good year.
Yeah, he's one of those unsexy picks that
super unsexy.
Yeah, like we see a lot of them in kind of the 60 to 70 range with the like Alvin Kamara's, the James Connors, the David Montgomery type characters. Like that's not really exciting anyone, except for when you have them on your team at the end of the season and you see how many points they contribute to your team.
Yeah. And it's like, I want to look, you don't want to have people who are not getting you anything, right? Like here, you want to have some floor stuff that you're getting something every week. And then you're taking the shots on these guys who have the higher upside to get you through and get you some wins. And it's like Chase Brown going to be chugging along the whole time. Same with, like you said, the unsexy players like James Conner. As long as he doesn't hurt himself, he's going to be on the field and working. Same with Montgomery.
Yeah. So they love James Conner in Arizona. Oh my God.
How do you not? Like, also just like such a good man, such like a great story, and talk about people who like love the journey and the craft and what they're doing. And it's like he's one of those good guys. So yeah,
for sure. I got a question here from our guy Neil Orfield asking, how is the fascinating outsider?
Neil. Well, I mean, I think it all started with COVID, obviously, and we were shut down for so long. Like I was super lucky. My show was one of the first shows to come back, but it was so different, right? A lot of shows never came back because it was just too difficult. And then after that, we had the writer strike. You know about the writer strike, and the actors jumped on. So then there was another, hiatus season where people weren't working. And then during that time, a lot of productions ended up moving overseas because it was just really difficult to work here, produce here, and be able to give what us industry union people were asking for and deserve. And a lot of those shows never came back. So like all of the Star Wars stuff is now in London and England. So a bunch of my friends were working on that down in Manhattan Beach. They were working on all the Star Wars stuff, the like Ashoka and all that other stuff. And now that's all in London. So they can't go, they're not going over there. Lots of stuff is filming in Budapest, tons of stuff in Mexico. I've been very, 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 very fortunate, knock on wood, with my shows and my work, but there's so less work here. And then with the growth of AI, again, something that you know about with writing, and it's like, it's just slowly going away. It's never going to go away. It's never going to go away completely. But whereas I would be on shows where I would hire 12 hairdressers, now I'm only hiring 5 or something like that. And it's like just chipping away. So it's tough out here. It really is hard out here. There are people I know who haven't worked for a year and a half. So,
man, that is,
yeah, it really is tough.
Rough. Yeah. 20,
yeah, 20, a lot of, yeah.
Very, very rough for everybody, and a lot of industries, and not fun.
I'll talk about locations when we get back on after we do our picks and tell you kind of how that's going. But let's see what we got here.
James Cook, Travis Hunter, Cortland Sutton, George Kittle, Jalen Hurts. I mean, we don't have to worry about tight end.
Don't have to worry about tight ends. I mean, Travis Hunter is it's a shot for a heck of a ceiling, right? Mm-hmm. Like if we're gambling here with that. What else you got? You got Pickens.
Pickens. Here's the receivers. Zay Flowers, Jalen Waddle, Ridley. Sutton's gone. We're on the clock now.
Okay. I'm okay. You know what? Let's see what we got. Let's take Travis Hunter. Let's see. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a bounce back year. I think Duval is going to be good. I hope so. And then our second pick, I actually am higher on Dak than I think a lot of people are. I think we're not that far removed from when he was on pace to throw for 75,000 yards. So go ahead. You know what? Let's take Pickens there too.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that, yeah. And I've never really been a Dak truther. But I think we're forgetting what he can do. And he was so injured and now he's back. And I think that Pickens could definitely, have a really good season across from CD. So.
Agreed. Yeah. Love Pickens this year. Yeah, that's a passing offense that could challenge Cincinnati for top passing offense.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I'll put a pin on when we were talking about the industry, they're trying out here to make it easier to film in LA, because right now filming in LA, it costs a lot of money. There's a lot of fees you have to pay, and it doesn't matter how big your production is. I don't know if you know about all this because you were going through a lot of stuff. It's like if there's a location fee, then you have to pay to close traffic, then you have to pay for the cops, then you have to pay for this. And it doesn't matter if you are a $100,000 indie film or you're a $7 million Marvel feature. You have to pay for all these things. And so currently they're kind of trying to work and make it easier. Like Newsom's trying to help with it too. So if that passes and that all gets going, hopefully that means we'll have a little bit more work. So
yeah, they're just so many places that offer these like
incentives.
gigantic incentives or like tax rebate type situations, and it's sad to see Hollywood not really be the center of Hollywood.
Yeah. It's tough. It's changed a lot. But I mean, like I said, I'm super fortunate. I love like now having a life where I have some of that. I have a lot of football, I have a lot of coaching. I do a lot of stuff I love to do. So I'm very fortunate.
You said you're a Cardinals fan, right?
I am born and raised in Arizona, came out here almost 20 years ago, and I've been loyal to my Arizona Cardinals through thick and thin, lots of thin, but yeah.
I'm a big documentary person, and my all-time favorite double feature of I think the internet went down for a second.
I know you paused for just a second. Are we okay?
Yeah. I'm good. Okay. I'm good. I'm still here. Big documentary person. All-time favorite double feature is the 1969 documentary Salesman, followed by the documentary Now episode Globesman, which is an incredible spoof of Salesman. And Julia, clicking around on your IMDb page, I saw that you worked on one episode of documentary Now, and it was Globesman episode.
I did, and it was a while back. It was Fred Armisen and help me out, the guy. Thank you. And I have a very distinct memory of us all sitting, like we were in like filming in a house, and we were like sitting in a bedroom, and hair, makeup, wardrobe, we're just sitting, the actors are sitting there, they're setting something up. And I just remember listening to those two guys talk and reminiscing about SNL. And I probably had like 5 or 6 of those moments in my career out here where I was just like, oh, like this is Hollywood. Like this is the stuff I'm going to remember, like sitting here, and like the opportunity to be around these two guys talking about that was really cool. I remember that really well. So yeah, that was super fun. They're good guys. They're funny when you're around those guys, and like you just see it. You're like, okay, I see why you are as good at your craft.
Yeah, Bill Hader, just phenomenal.
He started as a PA. Bill Hader did.
Really?
Yeah, wow. He was a PA. Yeah.
He has that's another person you can like really tell their passion for film and TV. If you go on Criterion Channel and look up Bill Hader, there's many videos of him talking about like all these classic films. I actually saw him here at Cinematheque Theater about a few weeks ago. He was introducing this documentary, the Emperor's Naked Army Marches On, and man, is just like, what a dude. We're close to getting Joe Burrow, but the T. Higgins guy is right in front of us.
Don't do it, T. Higgins, man. Don't you do it.
No. How could you break 2 hearts? How could you break even 1 heart? Much less.
I know. Don't break my heart. Who else does he have on his team?
Oh my God, he took him. He took Burrow.
Well, thank you.
All right. Yeah. Well, so Hugo, David Montgomery, Jacoby Myers, Caleb Johnson, DeAndre Swift, Jaden Reed. Any of these players?
Let's see. I don't like any of these running backs really. I think
3 seconds.
Oh God. Take Jacoby Myers. Go.
Okay.
I do like Jacoby Myers. I think he is a boring, unsexy pick to go with Chase Brown. Now I have to look at a running back. I'm gonna go to my running backs.
Montgomery, Caleb Johnson, DeAndre Swift, Isaiah Pacheco at the top here.
You know what? Let's go. A lot of people have been down on Pacheco, but I think we're going to see a resurgence in Kansas City. Go for it. Go with Pacheco.
I like it. Yeah.
I think Mahomes in Kansas City is going to play real angry. And I think the wide receiver room is going to be a little questionable. You're not going to necessarily know where targets and everything's going. And I feel like that's going to be kind of up in the air. But I'm hopeful that it'll just be Pacheco with his angry running back wise.
Yeah, you look at the first 2 games Pacheco played last season, got a ton of work there. Then he got injured, came back, and now like we're drafting him later because he didn't look great when he came back from this leg injury, which none of these running backs are going to look that good coming back from that injury. I don't think it's like the competition that they brought in as much as it is just like what we saw when he came back, and like our most recent. It's just recency bias, right? Like the most recent picture we have of like this isn't. It's not like he's a 30-year-old running back, right? Where he's coming back from an injury. We're like, okay, how much does he have left in the tank? He's still a young player, and I mean the Chiefs obviously trusted him before this injury, and he's looking good now. So I think that's a player.
They still have Kareem Hunt, right? And then they drafted that rookie in the late. But do they have anyone else?
Yeah, so they drafted. They drafted Brashard Smith. They brought Elijah Mitchell in.
Elijah Mitchell, that's it. Yeah.
But Elijah Mitchell lasts like what 2-3 games every season before getting injured.
Yeah.
Catching up on these comments here. Randall, what's up? Is Scottsdale as big a party town as Index of Suspicion has heard? Yeah?
Yes.
Is it it's a college town? What?
Yeah, I mean, and also I went to Arizona State. So to be fair, like any college town is going to be a party town. Scottsdale is. To be fair, I am a middle-aged woman. I have not partied in a very long time. But yeah, I used to enjoy many a night out in Scottsdale and Tempe, Arizona in college. So there we go.
So Arizona State, are you a Cam Scadaboo head?
Oh, I love Cam Scadaboo so much. I do. I have him. I do. I love him a lot. Look, I wrote it somewhere. I'm like, he in true Arizona State form vomits on the sideline and then goes back in and like that guy. Talk about somebody who loves the game. And I am super high on him. I know it's a little homer bias, but I think he will literally run Tyrone Tracy off the field very quickly, as long as he doesn't get injured, because he plays with this haphazard sense of delight. He's like, you're coming at me, let me just run right into you. Oh great, Mahomes went. So let's see, so who are we gonna look for? We're looking for
Kyler is still available, would pair with Trey McBride.
That's what I was thinking. It's obviously, again, so we have to reach a little bit being on the ends, but I think that's going to be our go-to. I like that a little bit better than going, reaching even further for Dak. And I think the week 17 is better to have Kyler there. Let's see. I don't, knock on wood, I don't think anyone's going to grab him, but
well, the Marvin Harrison person does not have a quarterback. So
fantastic. And I bet he's right ahead of us too. There we go. Great.
We have to
I know. Put it this way: if Kyler goes, then we have to take Dak here, I think, because I feel like he'll go in there. So, as Index of Suspicion says, Dak to the future, which I'm sure is the name of one of his fantasy teams, and it should be because that's good.
It's a pretty good name.
Yeah, good work. We do have 2 picks, right? So who else do we got on there? Let's see.
And they did not take Kyler.
Oh,
so Kyler is going to be
Kyler. Okay, so Kyler will be ours. Let's see who else we have. Luther Burn, Trey Harris, my boy. There's Scadaboo. Go to wide receiver.
Jaden Higgins, Keon Coleman at the top by ADP here. Trey Harris.
Who do you like there? Who do you like of these rookies and
of these
scattering in there?
I mean, Burden, we can actually maybe push and get on the next go around. Trey Harris is fun. I mean, if we wanted to do another running back right now, there are options there in Jordan Mason and Cam Scadaboo, who we just talked about, who has a week 17 correlation with Jacoby Myers.
You know what? Take Scadaboo because let's go there. Let's go with who our love is. You know?
Yeah. Why
not
plant our flag?
Let's plant that flag. What's the worst that can happen?
Feels so good to click on Cam Scadaboo.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it feel good? Oh yeah. I mean, watching that playoff game, I remember I was just screaming at the TV. Like he was, I hope he's good and I hope we can see it. And I think he's going to be one of those guys who has that chip on his shoulder because there's a lot of people who are like, I don't know. He was, we saw him for a few great games and was great. And I think he might just be able to really like, how Amon-Ra had that like real chip on his shoulder where he was like, I have a list of all the people who was drafted had it. Like that feels like a Cam Scadaboo sort of situation. So fingers crossed and let's see.
Yeah, every time somebody comps him to Toby Gerhart, the chip on his shoulder gets a little bit bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that's funny.
I think
he was the first school in the nation in the 2000 index of suspicion knows what's up with all the Arizona State stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I gave when I was in college, I was in an organization that gave tours at ASU. And so I would walk backwards and talk about things at ASU. And I remember every single time I gave a tour, people would be like, we heard it's a party school. And all the parents would be like, and my go-to answer was like, any place can be a party school if you want to find a party, which is fair. Like you can find a party wherever you want to, but there were definitely more parties available in ASU than other places.
What's the Arizona University of Arizona party scene? Is it?
Oh, Tucson. Yeah. That's a big one because they're a little more, the city is smaller. So I think that's more like maybe like a house party sort of situation where at ASU and Tempe, it's like you can go like Mill Avenue is like the big street right by campus. And it's like there are more bars and stuff. So I think at U of A and Tucson, it was more like a house party sort of situation.
I think Arizona State has one of the coolest mascots in all of college sports, but like just sports. I mean, Sun Devil.
Yeah.
That's so fucking sick. Just a big trident. He's a devil. He's
fun.
All live devil just running around.
He's fun. He, my freshman year, the guy who actually was the mascot was a kid that I went to high school with who was a gymnast. And he was the mascot for, I think, 2 or 3 years when he was there doing all the flips and stuff. So that was crazy to be like, oh, I know what you look like underneath a random, devil costume. But yeah, I think any of those mascots that have the ability to like physically be more human, like I think of like, I don't know, like what's the one that pops in mind is baseball, the Phillies guy, like the big belly who's always like when I'm playing him, it's like, I can only do so much, bro. Like I can't like flip. I can't like, I'm just moving that stomach back and forth.
Yeah. What is the, I know the mascot for, was it Cal Santa Barbara, but I've never like seen it on the field, the banana slug.
Oh yeah. The banana slug. I don't know what that would be visually. I feel like ask Chat GPT what a banana slug looks like. I don't even know what a banana slug looks like.
Is it a slug that looks like a banana?
No, or a banana that looks like a slug? We'll never know.
We'll never know because we're not going to search it. We're just going to.
How much could a banana cost, Michael? $10?
What a great show. Oh my God.
I could recite every line. Every line. It is
even from the last season.
It's yes, and I will support. It's not the best season, but it's still better than a lot of other things. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. Let's see what we got here. Where are we at? Okay, okay. I'd love another wide receiver. Sure. Okay, so quarterbacks are starting to go too. So we might want to look at another quarterback too. What do we have? Do
we have any stack? Well, we have.
Yeah, what do we have? Any stack possibilities?
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is still here.
One Justin Herbert. We would have to backstack with with like Quentin Johnston or something like
and
that.
Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, Trevor.
I can't with Quentin. Trevor might be a good choice there. Because later I'd love to maybe get
he does have some bye week, so we'd have to go a third.
Yes. Okay. I'm okay. You know what? I'm okay with that. We'll get a third because I think like it's risk taken. Why not? What's the worst thing that happen?
And then second pick here.
Go back to my wide receivers.
Yeah. Marvin Mims, Kirk.
Look, as much as people who is it good old index of suspicion is gonna yell at me for still being a Besh boy, but I will be a Besh boy. We already have hold on, we already have Jacoby, don't we? Okay, so let's not do that. Oh Lord. I don't like any of these guys. Go to tight end. Let's see if there's anyone there I like.
Oh, we can do Jonnu and close out tight end. We got Jonnu.
Yeah. You know what? Do Jonnu because I don't love any of the other people there. Yeah. Do that. Yeah.
That'll work.
Okay. So Arrested Development. That's what we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's just, I mean, like it's like it's my go-to safe show, right? Like everybody has that show where they're like, I'm stressed. I'm just gonna put on like a lot of times it's The Office or Friends or whatever, but like Arrested Development just always. And I feel like because the writing is just so smart and yeah.
I met the creator Mitch Horowitz at Harmontown back in like 2014 or so, and just the nicest guy and so funny, just unbelievably sharp and quick witted, real awesome dude. We have another kind of similar connection, Julia. In 2015 I wrote a workaholic spec that won the Austin Film Festival, and then in 2016 and 2017 you worked on the final 2 seasons of the show. How was that experience?
I did. That was great. I was, my friend Tina was the department head and she hired me to key for her. And it was fantastic. First of all, schedule wise, it was a delight. They were so efficient with how they were shooting. It was shot right down the street from where I live. So it was like all of those logistical parts were amazing. And those guys are just hilarious. They're so funny. It was the same sort of vibe as like we're talking about like writing on like Arrested Development and stuff like that. Like the writing was really sharp and all that stuff. And it was just a great crew too as well. I mean, I love working in comedy. I mean, my show that I've been on now for so long is not comedy, and that is also fun. But like, I mean, there's something about working in comedy because you leave at the end of the day and you're always happy, even if you've worked like a long day. I had a lot of fun over there with those guys. It was a good time. Oh, looks like you froze. Let's see. I'm moving. Uh-oh.
Okay.
There you are. You're back.
I'm back. Yep. I was frozen.
Okay. If you freeze again, I'll just vamp it. We got it. Right. I couldn't tell if it was me. I couldn't tell if it was me or you. And I'm like, nope. Okay, we're going. Okay.
Gotta refresh everything here. Not lost in the sauce, just lost in the internet. Fighting through. Which of the 3 main Workaholics guys was your favorite? And you can't say all 3, Julia.
I like Durs a lot. Anders, like he was probably who I just talked to the most. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the thing. It's like sometimes you just, for whatever reason, sit and have conversations with somebody more than the other. And yeah, he's just the guy that we talked the most about. Like, he had done, if I remember correctly, he had been doing some CrossFit. So we were talking about working out and stuff like that. And yeah. So he was the one that I talked to the most. Yeah.
How long do you think I would last in a CrossFit in a CrossFit session?
Oh, CrossFit is for everybody. You just it's fun. You'd have a blast. Do you not work out? What's your story? What's your training regimen?
I don't train. I walk probably I don't know, like 25, 30 miles a week. Just do a lot of walking. I can knock out press conferences while I walk.
That's great. That's a really good one for you. You can do a lot while walking.
Yeah,
for
sure.
That's
love
good.
walking down to like the Grove or Mashti Malone's and get a Rosewater saffron pistachio ice cream.
Look at you, so bougie. Look at you. So bougie.
Okay.
Yeah, I think walking is underrated. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, so what do we got? So we have
Jaden Blue.
We got a couple tight ends. We're good there.
Yeah, we're good at tight ends.
How many wide receivers do we have? 1, 2.
We have 4. Jamar Chase, Travis Hunter, George Pickens, Jacoby Myers. Got some good draft capital.
Those are some nice.
There. All right, we are on the clock.
Yeah, you know what? Jaden Blue might be a really good option too, because we have George. Let's go there, because I personally think that he, like, Javonte Williams, is held together with scotch tape and bubble wrap by this point. So I think we could see a world where Jaden Blue just and it's funny because a lot of people are really still on him. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so let's go Jaden Blue, and then what else do we have?
Receiver, there's so there's Besh Leggett.
Yeah, I think Josh Palmer was there, right?
Yes.
Josh Palmer is somebody that I think, look, we don't know who is going to be the number 1 guy in Buffalo, and there's a world that it could be Josh Palmer. So I think go for Josh Palmer, because that's another, like, I could see a world where you have a week where he's catching 3 touchdowns and 100 yards, right? And that's you might have a week where he doesn't catch anything, but we could have a spike week, and let's just hope that happens when we want to see it.
Yeah, and best ball, I think he's a pretty good play. A lot of coach speak and GM speak on Joshua Palmer about how like he fits in so well with what they want to do. He's a positionless receiver, and that's like their whole thing of everybody eats in this offense.
Positionless receiver just sounds so funny. It's just like, I don't have any position, nothing, void of position, just receiving. Like, it's just a funny term.
I'm just spirit floating free on this here football field.
I know. And aren't they on they're on Hard Knocks this year, right? The Bills?
Are they on Hard Knocks?
I think they're on Hard Knocks. And so I think there will definitely be a Josh Palmer boost after Hard Knocks. We have to learn it. We have to hear all the gossip about the Josh Allen wedding. That's why they're on Hard Knocks, bro. Like, we got to hear about that Steinfeld thing. Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna love Keon Coleman as well.
He'll be in press conferences.
Instant Hard Knock star. His ADP will probably jump up around.
I have a good question for you then. Who would be your all-star press conference team, right? Like the best, just the best, because like you're putting Leggett on there, you're putting Keon Coleman. I mean, maybe a George Kittle. Like, who else are you putting in as just the most entertaining press conferences to watch player wise? Who do you like?
Well, I don't really watch the players pressers that much, but yeah, Xavier Leggett, super just fun and interesting to listen to and watch speak. Yeah, Keon Coleman definitely up there. I think Stephon Diggs pretty good, especially now with things that have been going on. He should hold every presser from a boat for the rest of the season.
Why is it always on him? The main thing I always remember when he was with the Texans and they went around and they were asking, I don't know if it was a social media or whatever, and they were asking every player what player they wouldn't let date their sister. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
and every single person said Stephon.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah. Oh man. Just a Casanova. I think they were all just jealous.
I know. I'm looking at the board that I like that Roschon Johnson pick. I'm higher on him than some people are. I'm not quite as high on DeAndre Swift. So I think Roschon could easily get in there and steal some touchdowns. It's a good pick there.
Yeah, I think the goal line situation, I definitely expect them to favor Roschon Johnson over DeAndre Swift, just looking at how poor of a short yardage and goal line back that DeAndre Swift has been in his career. The only thing that I'm kind of like worried about is, does Kyle Monangai come in and like what kind of work is he getting or stealing? Like if he ends up getting goal line touches, then that's kind of a disaster maybe for Roschon Johnson. But I have a big old bag of Roschon Johnson so far.
A big old bag of Roschon. There you go.
Ball's bag. I think he might be my most drafted running back so far. Just because the price.
We've seen that play, right? Like we saw back in Detroit, DeAndre Swift there, and now you got the same coaching staff, and I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. Yeah. All right, let's see. What do we got here?
Well, Gino, if we wanted to get a third quarterback here.
I don't hate that at all.
Then this is what we're looking at running back. Jalen Wright would be a team stack with Jonnu Smith. Will Shipley would be a week 17 and 15 bring back. If we want Gino, he's available. And then receivers, this is what we're looking at in this area. Michael Wilson. I wonder if he would come back around, but
I feel like he might. I don't hate Gino. I don't hate Gino. He's another. Double check that bye week.
Oh my God, it's 8.
Oh, shut up! It's the same one.
It's 8. I clicked Jalen Hole. I panicked.
Okay. It's okay. We've all done it. I'm really glad I said it. Okay, that's fine.
Bryce Young is past ADP, and Cam Ward we could also get. Bryce Young, there is a certain person we could stack with him later.
Yeah, go with that.
All right.
Mm-hmm. I panicked.
It was all me.
Oh, that's so funny.
I swear this never happens.
That's okay.
Except for when I drafted with Adam Levitan, and I panic picked Pat Fryermuth like a round or two too early.
I mean, okay. I think he will have a really good year. You're like, I picked him in the second round.
It'd be
oh man, that'd be funny.
Index would have gone Ward, Restrepo, and leave it up to the gods.
Oh my God, that's a lot of praying, bro. That's a lot of praying.
That's an entire nation coming together for a day of prayer for Xavier Restrepo to give us one usable week. What did he run? Like a 8.640?
Yeah, slower than me. So there we go. And I can't run. I'm not a runner. Yeah, that poor man.
What do you think your 40 would be right now, Julia?
Don't even. I'm not a sprinter. And I don't enjoy running that much. I like heavyweight. I like moving weight. I like gymnastics. I like anything that goes overhead. Like I love handstand walking, stuff like that. If I'm running, I want it to be like a longer run. Because I can just pick a pace and kind of go. Yeah, I'm not a sprinter. I've never really been a sprinter. I was not an athlete growing up. Like CrossFit was the first thing I did. Like I found it in like my early 30s. So I never did anything when I was younger. I was just I was in student council and speech and debate and choir in high school, and I didn't do any sports. So
CrossFit of the mind.
I know. That's exactly what we call it.
Did you say handstand walking?
Yes. If you get on my Instagram, it will be a lot of handstand walking. It might not be on my post, but I do a lot of walking on my hands.
How far can you walk on your hands?
I've never measured this distance. Like for like for distance, let's see, I don't know. I mean, I could probably go at least like 100 feet. When I was at the expo a couple years ago, I was handstand walking on the field because you have to get that content. And there was a couple people, who was it? That were like, yeah, I knew it was Julia because I saw someone walking on her hands and fucking, sorry, Joe, at the expo. And like, I was like, yeah, that's me. Yeah. Sandbag, sledgehammer, tire flip. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone at
CrossFit things.
Yeah. Sandbags are fun. We don't have a sledgehammer at my gym, and we do have a tire. Tires are fun, but you get really dirty. Like the front of your legs and your body get real dirty. When I'm on set, one of our wardrobe guys, his name's Adam, and he loves to rib me about CrossFit. And he'll always be like, oh, well, we got to move a trailer. Julia, go pick up that trailer and move it across town. Like, that's our vibe.
You're the go-to. Yeah. Shamrock wants to know how long you've been playing fantasy football.
Woof. My first league would have been probably at least 20 years ago. It was a solid Yahoo fantasy league, which I feel like everybody was, that was one of their first leagues. I was bartending at a restaurant in Chandler, Arizona, and my bar back was like, hey, we had someone drop out of our league. Do you want to get in on it? And yeah, did it. I'd always watched football. I'm an only child. My dad was really, my parents are English, and they moved to Arizona when my mom was pregnant with me, and they were really trying to get into American culture. And so they got into football and all that sort of stuff. And so every Sunday, me and my dad would watch football together. And that's kind of how I got into it. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Those memories do stick with me. And then like my mom got into it too. And let's see, where are we at? We're pretty balanced. Who are our other running backs? We got Chase Brown, Jaden Blue.
Chase Brown, Isaiah Pacheco, Cam Scattaboo, Jaden Blue.
Okay, I'm not hating this team. Even with the panic, what was our panic? Jalen Noel, who I also like.
Jalen Noel. Yeah. I mean, he was going to the 150s a few weeks ago.
I'll take it.
75 range.
Okay, so who do we got available here? Let's see.
Michael Wilson would be available.
He did come back to you. Yeah.
Maybe. Just waiting on this one person.
What other stacking situations do we have here?
Well, Jalen Coker he took Michael Wilson.
Why? We've had our heart broken like 3 times in this.
We could take Jalen Coker here to stack with Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And then a running back. Any of these running backs stand out to you? Justice Hill, Jarquez Hunter, Dylan Sampson, the top here by ADP.
I mean, if we're looking for some potential upside, like that Jarquez Hunter, is it Blake Corum? Is it Jarquez Hunter? Who knows? We talk about the coach speak and McVay, and it seems like he does love his guy, and he might love his guy so much he runs him to the ground and kills him. But then who's up next, right? So it could easily be Jarquez Hunter.
Jarquez Hunter?
Yeah, why not? And do you want to do that? Did you get Jalen Coker there?
We took Coker.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, we didn't see much of Blake Corum last year. I don't know if that means McVay's over him. He seems, and again, you probably got a better view on this than I do. Like McVay seems like someone who's like pretty fast when he makes a decision, and he sticks with that decision. Like I think whatever happened with Cooper Kupp, I think they were like, nope, we're done. We're moving on. And even if there was a chance that they could have been wrong, I think, look, you commit to something, you commit to a decision, and kind of as a leader of a team, you have to, but he probably missed some things there. And I think he might have committed to a thought on Blake Corum as well. I don't know why, but McVay.
Yeah, we got all that talk from McVay after the season ended about, how much he was impressed by Liam Cohen's offense in Tampa this year and what he was able to do, and all that 21 personnel that they ran. And McVay is somebody who usually stays pretty ahead of the curve, and maybe it was like admiration of someone else who is kind of come in and constructed in offense that's a little bit ahead of the curve with everything that Liam Cohen was doing last year. That was kind of new in Tampa Bay. And like you just got the sense that, okay, McVay is looking to kind of switch things up on offense. Like he likes to do, I think a year or two ago, we saw them like really beef up the offensive line because McVay saw that linebackers were getting smaller in the NFL. So, okay, let's just run the ball and like punish these guys. And yeah, I think bringing in Jarquez Hunter, because last year Blake Corum was basically Kyren Williams 2.0. And they said that like we wanted another guy that was like Kyren. And so when Kyren has to take a breather, we don't miss a single beat. Like we have Kyren 2.0 in there basically. And Les Snead, general manager, saying that this pick was more about making sure that the tread still stays on Kyren Williams' tires. And then this year we get talk from Les Snead about, hey, maybe we're like a little bit more of a committee this year, and they bring in this change of pace running back and Jarquez Hunter, and yeah, you could see him getting a little more work. I don't think it's going to be a situation at all where Jarquez Hunter becomes the top guy, but could at least give us some usable weeks, and there's a contingency bet there that I don't think he takes over if Kyren Williams goes down, but could definitely at that point see like a 50-50 split between he and Blake Corum, or 60-40 whatever way. Just an exciting young back who they like quite a bit.
And I think the Rams, and again, as a Cardinals fan, it hurts me to say this, I think they could have another championship run in them. I think Devontae Adams is going to have a great season. I think both him and Puka will be in the top 20. And I think that Stafford is being severely underdrafted, because if you've got two wide receivers, you're going to finish in the top 20. How the heck are they going to get there if not through the quarterback? I'm not saying Stafford's going to have a top 10 season, but I like he's going at like in the 20s places. And I think that if he stays healthy, obviously that's always, but I mean, that's a caveat for any player, right? Like as long as they stay healthy.
Right.
And I think McVay's got a plan for Ferguson. I think that was a great draft pick. I think he's going to try to put his foot on the gas and see if he can squeak out another one with Stafford still cogent, because he's got to have a plan coming up next. Like we're going to start to see whatever McVay's plan is next for quarterback. And I think we'll start to see it moving this year, because you got to have to get someone, bro. I don't know. What do you think?
He does not want just like one of those years where it's like, okay, we have a shitty, like Daniel Jones level.
He doesn't like
bridge quarterback. Like he wants a real dude there. And we are almost on
the clock.
Final pick. And I think we got to go running back here, right? Is Taj? I'm guessing Taj is gone. Yeah, Taj Brooks is already gone. There's somebody here who I think would be a pretty good late round pick. But there's maybe a few here. And any of these striking your fancy?
Well, we already got Pacheco, so who was on there? Mitchell was on there. Dylan Sampson's still there. That's not too bad.
Right.
Why is he dropping?
I don't know. Sometimes he'll fall to the last round here. Sometimes he'll go in like the 190s. Do you want to?
Let's try that, because I think again, like we don't know what's going to happen in Cleveland.
Yeah, and
really like that identity is very up in the air.
Yeah. So he hasn't shown up here yet, but we did grab him, and that's a player who was going pretty high on the big board before the draft. Got into like sort of an unfortunate situation where they spent, I think, was it the 39th pick, so pretty high pick on Quinshon Judkins. But they Stefanski's talked about. I like that we have size with one guy, speed with another guy, and talking about just the ability to whatever style that they need to adapt to. They have guys who can do that. So if they're playing a lot of catch up this year, then maybe we see more Dylan Sampson than we expected to see. By the way, Caden asking how I got the week 15 to 17 matchups to show up next to the players' names. That is the Spike Week overlay, which you can check out from Spike Week. Enjoying it quite a bit. Last year, I had to do all my drafts in like a month, and I thought I had like more of players than I did. I didn't know like the exposures in drafts and all that stuff. So pretty cool to use that this year. Let's go ahead and name this draft.
You have to name it with something Arrested Development-y.
Oh yeah. Well, I was going to put Julia Papworth guaranteed winner.
Yeah, well, you could do that too. I'm trying to think what else we could call it.
Would the banana? What could a banana cost?
Banana stand. You could just put banana stand. There's always money in the banana stand, Michael. Oh man.
There is always
money.
Oh damn! Oh fuck! I gotta. Here, you know what? I'll do.
You could just always money in the banana stand. There you go. Oh my god! If we win this, maybe it will work for us. I love that. Maybe it will work. I mean, it's funny. You see all the the social media things where it was like Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers, and they had that clip of them being like, "But maybe it'll work for us."
Right. Yeah, I don't think it will actually.
I don't. I can't wait to see the interaction between Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers on the sideline when something isn't going someone's way, because there will be chatter and there will be yelling. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of identity discovering with a lot of teams coming up this year. I think like I said it about Cleveland, they don't know what, I mean, I think they have some ideas, but they don't know how it's all going to go. And what's going to happen in Miami? Is Tua going to be okay? What's going on there? Is Tyreek Hill still alive? There's so many questions to answer.
Yeah, the Miami question is such a big one. Of are they just going to run the same offense that they ran last year, just kind of spamming it to Devon Achane and Jonnu Smith over and over because the offensive line wasn't giving the quarterbacks time to throw downfield? The offensive line, I mean, you can argue maybe it was upgraded a little bit. It kind of depends on how their draft picks from this year shake out, but it could be another shitty offensive line for them, and we just see them run the same thing back that they did last year. So very. Do you think
McDaniel keeps his job if it's not a good year?
Oh no. I think if they have a bad, I think probably just if they miss the playoffs, even if they have a winning record and miss the playoffs, he might be gone. I think he's not a good head coach.
I think that he is a great coordinator.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say he's a bad head coach. I just think he's an average head coach. I think he should be a coordinator. Just even I know we're coming all off of the San Francisco tree, but seeing Saleh go back to be a coordinator, Saleh is not a head coach. He is a fantastic coordinator. Mm-hmm. And I get it. If you're kind of moving up and whatever, and it's you want to go and you want to see if you can be a head coach, but some people like Dan Campbell is a head coach. He's a unifier.
Yeah.
You have to know what's under you, but it's about that sort of motivation. And it's that's not McDaniel. I love McDaniel. He'd be on my top 5 list of press conference because I enjoy him. I enjoy watching him.
I've kind of over him at this point. He was fun for the first, I don't know, a few months of press conferences,
and then the shtick went away.
Yeah. It's and his 5 to 8 minute answers on every question. Little bit over it. Yeah. Watching the Hard Knocks with the Miami Dolphins Hard Knocks, I came away just thinking this guy is not at all inspiring as a leader. And I just, it's not a wonder to me that this team really not any of these teams lately have kind of coalesced under him.
Through no fault of his own. I just don't think he has that personality. It is a personality job. You have to command the room. You can't have anybody dare second guess you, because then it's then it just filters through, right?
Yeah.
It's how it is with just any sort of big job that you have. Like, oh man, Dan, I would love to be in those rooms with Dan Campbell. Like, whew, that man, that's a leader.
I've been wondering if Mike McDonald is going to end up being kind of the same thing, where just like outstanding coordinator, maybe not cut out to be a head coach.
All I think about when I hear about him is I think of Michael McDonald, and then I just think about the music, and then but
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think about that as well. I mean, talk about go to another leader like Pete Carroll. There you go. Like there's another. Like the joy that man must bring. Like there was that clip of him like running out and going to an offensive lineman and like punching him. Did you see that? Like just like jogging out on the field, and I'm like that guy must what is he? 110? Like how old is he? Is he 80 yet?
He's like 74, something like that, right?
So he I mean, I watched it and I said to my husband, I go like, that's like my dad's age. Like this guy is like, what a joy. What a joy.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how the Raiders are this year. That's a team I'm really excited to see how that goes, because I think there's a lot of potential there.
I think it's gonna be a very good offense.
Yeah, same. And I'm excited to see how Jacksonville is. I'm excited to see the Bears. I'm excited to see I hope Caleb, I hope we were right on that, because I drafted him in a bunch of places in Dynasty, and I really need that to pan out.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be loving the Ben Johnson hire for your Caleb Williams shares.
Yeah. Look, they can't say that they didn't do everything correct to set that man up, right? Like bring in the weapons, like pump up the protection. Great. If he can't make it work with all of those things, then maybe we were just wrong. Like
they'll know this year.
They will know this year. They will definitely know. Yeah. So
I'd like to run through some superlatives real quick for the people that you've worked with in Hollywood. All good superlatives.
Yeah. Okay. Like you want me to give a superlative when you say a name? Like what do you want?
I'll ask you. Like for instance, who has made you laugh the hardest?
Woof. Laugh the absolute Jack McBrayer. Jack McBrayer from
30 Rock.
From 30 Rock. Oh, he is a delight. And everything he says is funny, even if he's not trying to be. Everything he says is funny. And he always looks at you with like the most amazing wide eyes and sparkle in his eyes. He's just a joy. Yes.
He has those like those doe eyes. The like very innocent, like kind of puppy dogish. Please play with me.
Yeah.
He did an improv show, like a 2-person improv show with Paul Scheer. That's like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Who you worked with on The League, right? Paul.
Yeah. Worked with Paul on The League. He was great. That year we did a fake combine shoot, and Rich Eisen was there. Rich is great. And then I remember it was the year that Mike Evans got drafted. And so Mike Evans was there, and the 2 makeup girls that I worked with were not football fans, but I remember sitting there and watching us like reenact the combine and seeing Mike Evans run back and forth. And I was like, well, this guy's going to be good. This guy's going to be real good. And that was like, again, like I said, these memories that sort of stick in your head that are like core memories. Like that was one of them too. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Who spent the most time in the chair in a single sitting?
I mean, it depends what we had to do. Like on Drunk History, we had to like really, it was so creative and like doing these things and like making wigs and all that sort of stuff. And it's like when we did a Hamilton thing for Drunk History once, which was like, we shot, usually with Drunk History, we shot 1 story a day. So it was like that and moved on. And when we did Hamilton, we did 3 days of it, which was a lot. And I remember, I think I had like 25 wigs that were all like working. And we had, Alia, maybe from Arrested Development. She was Hamilton. And I remember like that was a lot, sort of figuring out how to do the wig on her. And that took a little bit of while. And then just like creating these things, that's sometimes what takes a lot, but that was just the most fun show to do. Like the creativity on that show was so fun.
Did y'all have to step in and like do kind of touch ups on the narrators after? Like, I'm sure like some of them are probably throwing up and maybe sweating a little bit.
Yeah. So we would do the narrations beforehand. So they would do all the narrations, and because you'd have to come up with a script from the narrations, and we would like kind of be there to like get them ready, and then we would leave because Derek, who was the creator of it, he was always talking about how like you want to have like the truest sort of storytelling from that person, right? And if you have people standing around, you're not getting that. So it was always like, we're there, we get you ready, we'll see you. You know, best of luck, you do your thing. And he would just get such good stuff out of them. So
yeah. What an original show.
Yes. So, yeah, we still dream big that one day some network is gonna pick it up because we were gonna come back COVID. So I remember I was in a production meeting, and it was we were talking about our first episode, and our first episode was gonna be Colin Hanks and like someone else. And I remember the news was on, and they had just announced that like Tom Hanks had COVID, right? Remember that early on? Yeah. And I remember sitting and I remember being like, we're not going to make this show this year, are we? And we had all of the narrations were ready. We had all the story, we had all the scripts. So we have all the scripts for that season that never got made. Because we never did the reenactment. So we always like, there's a bunch of us, like I still work with one of the guys that worked for me before, and we all still kind of talk about it, and we're like, God, we can dream and hope that maybe one day some network will pick that up, because it is a joy. It was a joy to make.
Yeah, and it's an IP that you can easily get big stars on, which we already saw, and I'm sure they'd still be down to make.
They love to do it because it was only a day. You would come and it's a day, and everyone was always so kind when they came. Like they just had a great time. They wanted to be there. So yeah.
And they're all working with like incredible, like other incredible like even people who don't have that many lines, like even people who are just like standing around in scenes. Like I recognize like, oh, this is like Wayne Fetterman, like a very, very talented improviser and comedian. Who that you've worked with smelled the best?
Smelled the best?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't even know. I've never even thought about that. I mean,
no one stood out, huh?
No one stood out. I'm gonna have to think about that next time with this. It's gonna be weird when I just go up to them and just do that, but I'll get in there next time. I never thought about that.
Did anyone ever make you cry in a good way?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. We had John Lithgow, and he was so lovely. And I remember when we wrapped him for the day, like we were still shooting something, and he like went around and shook everyone's hand and like was like talking to them about something he had talked to them about. Like I remember my friend Michelle was doing makeup, and at some point she was talking to him about like wanting to get into painting. And I remember seeing him go up to her and be like, Michelle, don't forget to paint. I want you to, like, all of these connections. And like I remember him coming up to me and talking about my family, and I was just like, oh, this man is just like, like so nice and so kind. He was very kind. He's super kind. So was what's his name? The Fonz. We had the Fonz on.
Henry Winkler.
Oh, Henry Winkler was a delight. He told me not to online bank. I remember that. He saw me on my phone. This was probably like, I don't know, 12 years ago. And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm depositing a paycheck. He goes, you shouldn't do that online. You should go to the bank. And I was like, Henry, I understand, but like, I need to do that.
That sounds like something that his character would say on Barry.
I know, but it was like, that was a joy. And you know what? The other one too, I remember him walking in that episode. We also had Jason Ritter on that episode, and those two I don't think had ever met, but Jason Ritter was there, and we were finishing Jason Ritter up, and in walked Henry Winkler, and Henry Winkler went up. This will make me cry. Henry Winkler went up to Jason Ritter, shook his hand, and he goes, I knew your father, and he was so wonderful, and you've turned into such a wonderful man. And I remember all of us were just like, oh, because it's like you start to see those connections of generations, and that was something really cool. So very, very just human. When you see human moments of people, Yeah, because people don't see actors and like big stars as human. They're just like No.
People they'll never meet. They see them, 40 feet tall on a movie screen, and like that's it. They're just like an image to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's super cool to hear. Last superlative, squirmiest worm. Who could not sit still?
Oh, that's a good one. There have definitely been a lot of people that I have to be like, stay still, do not move your head. I will cut you. Oof, God, I can't even think of somebody who pops into mind. Crap, I can't think of anyone. Usually for me, like it's when I'm doing a haircut, and usually it's like a guy. Cause if I'm doing like a really like a tight fade or something, and like somebody comes in and he goes to talk, I'm like, please don't, because then you don't want to go up.
Yeah. You got it.
But I just try to like hold heads and be like, let's just stay here. You can look with your eyes and talk that, but just keep your head straight. So,
before I let you go, we both live in LA. I'd like to know, I always love to hear what other people love about LA, and then like just kind of favorite LA spots or activities.
What do I love about LA? Well, I hate the traffic. But that's that. The thing I do like about LA is like it is truly like melting pot is such a silly way to say it, but like people come here from everywhere. And that's why I asked you, I was like, are you from California? Like there's very few people who are from here anymore. And it's like everyone has a really interesting story about how they got here and why, and like kind of what's kept them here. And I mean, I never thought I would say like I feel like I am from California at this point, but I feel like I am. So that's the cool thing. You just hear very, very different stories about why people are here. It's just so diverse, very diverse here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's great. I love it.
Yeah,
me, you, and Randy Newman.
Yes. Good old Randy Newman. What's your favorite place to like visit in LA? Like if someone was coming to visit you, a tourist, where would you take? If you could take them to one place, where would you take them?
I mean, they usually want to go to like Griffith Observatory or whatever, which is like cool. It's great. And if they like to hike and walk and whatever, good area. But I mean, if they're a film person like I am, you got to take them to like New Beverly Cinema or like the Academy Museum. Just like
I was going to ask, I still haven't gotten to the Academy Museum. I'm going to take my dad out next time he comes out. It's amazing, right?
It's incredible.
Like I have to go.
It's incredible. Yeah. Went there a couple nights ago for Paul Schrader's Mishima, which was great. Saw like Jimmy Stewart's Rope there on Nitrate. Just man, beautiful theater. Like there's not a bad seat in the entire theater. So if you get there late, whatever. And just so many great cinemas in LA that are kind of just like cathedrals.
Iconic.
New Bev, Academy Museum, Cinematheque is really cool. Vista is a great theater. Just man. And then for food, an easy thing, a thing that I like is maybe like pre-gaming at El Coyote on Beverly in Hollywood. And
you're so Hollywood.
Yeah, I love Hollywood. I love it. Although if they're a big like P.T. Anderson Magnolia fan, then I think it's called Firefox Room.
I love Magnolia so
Room in Oaks. It's the ball.
I know Firefox Room. Yeah. No, a long time ago. Yeah, because I used to I lived in Valley Village for a while. Then I lived like Sherman Oaks, North Hollywood. So I'm like, I was all in that area over there.
Yeah, Sherman Oaks was the first place I lived when I moved to LA in 2013. And I mean, it's pretty cool. It's definite P.T. Anderson vibes there. Only thing I don't like is like in the summer it's 110 degrees there.
It's not great, but
90 here. Yeah. But so many just iconic, great, cool hangout spots in LA. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's good out here. Look, every place has their bad stuff. Every place does, but there's definitely once you find your people out here, that's the hardest thing. Is like it is tough because for a while you meet people and it feels like they only want to know you if they can get something from you, because that's kind of the vibe of LA. I get it. Like, you got to hustle. Like, I get it. But, you know, when you find your people, like, I was super lucky. I feel like I found a lot of my people, you know, when I was at a gym. I met a lot of people through CrossFit, and it's like, once you have your people, you're fine and you can do everything else. And it's like, yeah.
I think the most common question in LA is how'd you get that? How'd you get that job?
Yeah. How'd you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a combination of all of it. It's like talent or knowledge or whatever that is. It's being prepared so that when the opportunity is there, you just grab it. And sometimes you can't, like, second guess yourself too, which is, I think that women we second guess ourselves a little bit more than men. Like, all the men I know are like, whatever, sure, yeah, I can do that. But I think sometimes you have to be like, no, I can do that. It's fine. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Yeah. Because most people don't know anything now. Like, most people don't know what they're doing when they take a job. I mean,
Right.
You just figure it out. Yeah.
There's no AI for hair yet.
No, thank God. I mean, they're going to start. There'll be some stuff. I mean, some of those apps now that you could do with the AIs, and you see like the changes of people and stuff like that. It's like, I understand why we fought against this. I understand, because they can do a lot. They can do a lot. I think that we're going to eventually, unfortunately, probably in like the next 8 or 10 years, it'll be so unusual to have a movie made completely with humans by humans that it'll be like one of those things where like Christopher Nolan shooting on film. Oh, it's a big deal. You're shooting on film. And it'll be like, Christopher Nolan, it's a big deal. You're using all humans. Like, and there will be, but like, that's the thing. It's like, we're pumping out the content. People want it. I get it. Like, I binge my stuff too. So it's, if I was getting into the industry right now, I wouldn't. Like, some of our PAs, like on our show, it's like, you might want to have a pivot option, because it's like, I don't see 30 years left of this for a career. Like, I'm fortunate I've sort of started to pivot, you know, a few years ago, and yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Great things don't last forever.
No, they don't. They don't.
Enjoy them while they're around, and also be looking into the future and making these pivot plans as you've outlined.
Yeah.
All right. This was great. I love this.
So fun. So fun chatting with you.
Okay.
And we drafted a pretty decent team too. I mean, I know, like, we've talked about all that other stuff, but I don't hate the team.
Is a lot of money in the banana stand and in this team.
So much money in the banana stand. There you go.
Next Wednesday, we're going to have Eric Beimfor of Spike Week. And on Friday, we're going to have ESPN's Liz Loza.
Oh, I love Liz Loza. I love my girl, Liz Loza.
Can't wait. That's going to be awesome. Julia, please tell us what you've got going on and coming up.
You can find all my stuff over at Fantasy Footballers. Like I said, me and Matthew Betts are writing a nice little news or noise piece every week and a half, kind of talking about the stuff that's coming up in these press conferences and if people should really be paying attention to them, which is kind of cool. And I've got some other stuff over at Football Guys. So that's kind of where you'll find me throughout the season doing that.
Awesome. Go.
Yeah, walking on my hands too. Just walking on my hands on my Instagram. There you go.
Go check out Julia's Instagram and see how far you can walk on her hands. Maybe we'll get a live stream of Julia doing a marathon.
I love it.
On our hands.
I love it. Every 100 feet I'll stop and give like a fantasy pick or something.
There we go. Awesome. Thank y'all for hanging out today. See y'all soon. Peace.
Bye.